lovelies, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I get this beautiful bouncy blowout. I will be using my Shark FlexStyle, but you could use a curling iron, a flat iron. The key today is we're going to be using pins. I will tell you all of my tips and tricks. Let's get into it. Starting off, number one, freshly washed, nice and clean hair. I will link my favorite shampoo and conditioner options in the caption below. Make sure you're shampooing twice, getting everything out of your hair, and then condition well, but wash all that conditioner out. Do not let it sit in your hair or else it will be greasy and kind of ruin your blowout. On to the blowout. Oh, I forgot I had a clip in there. If you're using a flat iron or a curling iron for this, you're going to completely rough dry your hair. But since we're using my Shark, I only need to rough dry it to 80%. Then we will meet back and curl it. But if you're doing a curling iron or flat iron, repeating that again, do not do it wet unless you want this to be you. Do you guys remember her? I remember when she went on Ellen after this happened to her. One of my favorite tips and tricks for a blowout, headphones, because then you can watch or listen to something and it's not so loud. Let's go over my hair prep and talk about all the hair products I've already applied. I will also link them below. Lush Super Milk, Verb Glossy Shine Heat Protectant Spray. If you're blowing out your hair, heat protectant, heat protectant, heat protectant, please, any heat protectant, I don't care what it is, heat protectant. Aveda Texture Tonic. This is gonna help with it hold extra height, extra volume, because it is kind of wet and rainy out there. We might use a hairspray at the end because if it's too humid and you want it to hold, you need it. The Dream Coat Wow Spray, love this for shiny, perfected blowouts. Whipped Biosilk Mousse, this gives you the best volume of your life and it helps your hair hold a long time. And I put in the Trader Joe's leave-in conditioner. This is a dupe for the Way one. Honorable mention, we also have our Trader Joe's hair oil we will be applying throughout. Let's rough dry. Today we're going to be going for super bouncy, voluminous curls. And the key here is going to be a little bit of a tighter curl. You don't have to do a super small curling iron, but you are going to want a full body curl. If you only curl the ends will be bouncy. So you're going to want the curl to go from root to tip here. Unless you're a Utah girl and you like to ignore the ends, you can do that too and still get a bouncy blowout. I used to do that, but I personally prefer when it goes from root to the ends. I think it's the most beautiful, long-lasting curl. Obviously, we have to start off with the blow drying, and the key for me is to flip upside down and get the most volume at the root. Then once I have it about 80% dry, since I have an air styler here, if you're using a heat item like a curling iron or a flat iron, go 100% dry. But we're at 80% dry. I am going to round brush and blow dry my bangs. And then I found this cute little round bang Velcro roller from H Mart. I'm going to put in my hair. And let me show you. Whoops, we might fling them a little bit, but here's the hair pins. You can get these in packs. I recommend getting the biggest pack possible if you have a full head of hair. I used to have about 10 of them. It was like a small pack and they were kind of more plasticky. They came with my rollers. I broke half of them and then I could never do my full head. So I would always typically do rollers, and the Velcro rollers do give you a good bouncy blowout, but it seems to be a little bit more voluminous where these are tighter and shinier because you're not using the Velcro texture. Okay, let's start talking about what you actually do. It's totally up to you whether you're going to curl towards your face, away, or like me, I'm going to alternate, do every other, and I'm going to kind of follow what I learned from Bretman Rock, and I'm going to do the ones at the top of my head away from my head. Keep following and it'll make more sense if you have no idea what I'm talking about. So basically here you see me split my hair into a top and a bottom half, and then I split it in half again, my right and my left side. That does not mean I'm curling those pieces only one way today. I'm going to be alternating. So you see me kind of struggling a bit to find the perfect sizes because you can't blow dry or air style too large of chunks because then they won't actually dry. If you do this with a curling iron, you can have a little bit larger of chunks, but with the air styler, I would recommend sticking to smaller chunks. You can curl 2 pieces and then wrap them together in 1 pin if you don't have enough pins, but the more pins, the merrier. So I would recommend curling it, pinning it immediately. You can see me showing you a few of the curls so you can check it out and see if you actually like them. I did like them, so I continue to keep pinning them immediately. You can hold your cool shot button if you're using an air styler and cool them down before, but one of the benefits of this is you don't have to do it for quite as long and they're still going to last forever. The more you do it, the better you will get, but you're gonna notice if you stick the pin too low on the bottom half of the curl or the wrong side, it's gonna flop down and you're gonna lose about 3 inches of curl. Make sure to do it on the top where they're connected. If you want a long lasting blowout and you're not pinning it, you have to do the cool shot or else seriously your hair is not gonna hold. So I will say this is the one occasion I do not religiously use the cool shot button because it's cooling in the pins. Now if you are doing a regular curling iron, it's a little different, or a flat iron, because you're gonna need to put tension in your blowout. If you have wavy hair like me, the air styler gives me some tension and so it kind of removes my natural wave waves and curls it in the blowout. Just a little heads up tidbit. Then as we move to the top, you can see this alternation a little bit better. I'm making sure to go all the way up to the root, because if you don't, you're gonna miss a curl there, the wave is gonna look funny, and you're gonna miss the volume. So this is just what I recommend. I know technically we keep calling these pins, but they are clips, so you're gonna wanna pick ones that are flat and non-bumpy. The key here is that we're letting our hair cool down for even longer in the shape, and it's going to hold the tighter shape. If you just cool it in your hand and you let it down, gravity is going to pull against it. So we are fighting against gravity and creating a little bit of a hold. This is definitely a vintage style. If you look up old curl patterns, there are so many ways to curl your hair. When we get to the back, you can see I'm specifically going straight up and down at the root. You can do some that are going sideways. Now, I like to pin them in the tubes. So you can see you can slide it right off the curling iron or the air styler. If you're using a curling iron, please be careful. It's very hot compared to an air styler. Slide it off into your hand, catch it, and then pin it, which I prefer to do anyways. If you have an air styler, you can slide it on and pin it. I think that's a little hard because you have to turn it off and then slide it. I just leave my air dryer running and I set it on the counter. But if you like to, you can totally do that. There's lots of options and lots of ways. Now, I will say I did a good job at the back, but watching this, I can definitely do a better job next time. So practice will make perfect. This is only probably my 4th or 5th pin curl ever, so I know I'm just going to keep getting better and better with time, because every time it's just better. I will say my first time did blow me out of the water. It was so bouncy. I was so impressed, and I'm so happy with it. I haven't stopped. Okay. You technically, like we mentioned, you technically can unroll them and check and see if you like the curl, if it feels like it's a little kinky or funky before you roll it back up, and you can grab it on one end and go zoop, 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 and kind of roll it back up into a tube and then pin it. Does that make sense? So just grab it with your 2 fingers, roll back and forth until it looks like the tube. Clip it up if you're having trouble. You can always put it back on your air styler or your curling iron and then immediately pull it off to get it back into that tubular formation. That's what I tend to do sometimes. But like I mentioned before, the way you curl your hair is going to change it. So if you've only curled the ends, it's only going to be bouncy there. Make sure you're curling all the way to the root to get that full curl, same effect as me. If you leave a few inches, it will look flat at the top. I know some of you don't like volume, so skip the top if you want that flat look. If your hair has a hard time holding, make sure to use hairspray to ensure extra longevity. I love the Herbal Essence one for low end, and Kenra is my high end. I can link them below too. If you do clip it funky, it will lay funky forever too. So I might be making this look a little easy, but you can see occasionally some of the ends come out and I'll pull it out and then I'll try and retwist it and tube it. If you pinned it and it was funky, like not the right shape, it's going to come out and it's going to stand up or poke you in the eyes, just like if you pin your bangs wrong. Spoiler, that might have happened. So try and make sure at the root specifically it's aligned and angled nice and flat so it will lay on your head, because if it's funky there, it's going to be funky forever. It's almost like you can create little calyx, and I know nobody loves those. I have one and I hate it. I fight it every day. But yeah, spoiler, like I said, I could have done a better job technically on the back, but watching this, I can see what I've been doing wrong when I'm parting it a little bit too big and I'm not holding it. And because I've been doing it wrong, I've been having to go back, touch up my curls, and fix the back. I need to hold my hands closer and go to the root instead of just letting the ends fold in. I will say with longer hair, sometimes with the air styler, it can get a little hard to pin it. So I would recommend you start it at the root and then you slide it all the way to the end, even if you have layers kind of holding it, and then curl it up. If you do it the way you curl like a wand, it doesn't work as well. You're going to want to slide it to the end and roll it up for the best air curler wrap. Now, if you're doing this as a curling iron, it does not matter if you curl it like a wand, if you curl it however, just pin it tubular. You can see the one I pinned flat on my head eventually. It's a lot different than the one you need to pin in a tubular shape. And dun da da da! Now the hardest part is over. This is the only thing I do differently than my regular blowout. Now we're going to let it fully cool, and once it is cool, we'll undo each pin. We'll talk about it when we get there. So I'm going to wait until my head feels cool, because right now I can literally feel the temperature on my head. It feels hot. And then to the touch once they're all fully cooled down. I feel like somebody's mother. At this point, once it's cooled, you can spray it with some hairspray before you even let it down for extra hold and bounce, especially if it's a special event, super humid. It's been 5 minutes. They definitely feel cool. If you have the extra time, leave them in. I don't have time. I need to get going, so it's time to pull them out. Maybe add a little hair oil to the end. No brushing. We'll do a little flipping for separation, volume action. If you wanted to, you can always brush them out with your wide tooth comb. I like to leave them extra bouncy, super Shirley Temple curl tight at the beginning. That way it lasts many days. So let's get doing it. I'm going to start with the bangs. She's been in the longest and she might need touching up. Honestly, it's a little funky shape. And I think I missed one hair here, huh? The bangs are looking a little flat and funny, but I need to fix those. Let's just start unpinning. I'm gonna just go bottom to top. Oh, ow. Try not to rip your own hair out if you can. I feel like I'm from the olden days with my 2 little curls. And the up too. I prefer when you pin them in the tube versus when you see that volume versus when you pin them flat to the head. Oh, these bangs are insane. You might be tempted to brush. That would ruin it and make it fluffy and funky. My recommendation is to give yourself little side-to-side jostle, let them kind of separate a bit. See if there's anything you want to touch up and fix. For me, it's these bangs. These bangs are not banging. Fix my part, so I'm going to add some volume there. Okay, a little separation, a little, see what I'm doing? Tell me, do you think that's a bouncy blowout or what? I get a bang trim this week and I actually cannot wait. Holy crap. We're gonna do one quick little flip, but I honestly would be happy going like this the way I separated it. But they're kind of combining some of them that go the same way, so we're gonna separate them by flipping. Watch. This is the before. Shake them out, flip it back. Some of them might go back together. You can use your fingers to separate a little if you want, like this. You can grab your oil. I'm using the Trader Joe's Yummy Hair Oil. It's vanilla and delightful. Adding a little bit of hydration. There was a whole hair on my eyeball. That was crazy. Now, if you wanted even more volume, you could easily rat and tease at the root. So you just back comb with a comb a little bit, hairspray it, and boom. I like the volume because it goes throughout the whole head. Some people prefer it only here. Oh, but how bouncy is that blowout? Stunning. I think having layers helps a ton here, but you can see no matter the length, it's all bouncy. So no matter if you have really long hair, really short hair, you could give yourself a fabulous blowout. Just use my techniques, pin the curls while you're doing it. Fabulous. I am obsessed. This is one of my top favorite hairstyles. I really love this. I think right now everyone's doing big blowouts with like just flipped ends, but for me, I want the full curl. I want to rock it all. I wore Utah curls for so many years. Now I want to just use my full length. I will say I have been doing a lot of natural hairstyles. If you wanted to see an air dry tutorial, I've never given you one. I've only done my diffuser, but I've been air drying it because it's been so hot. How cute is that girl? And it's been fabulous. But when I want to do a hairstyle, I'm going to do it all. And I'm going to go above and beyond. And this is the style I'm going to do. I'm obsessed. Are you kidding me? This is such a good blowout. I love it. I love that it works really well even if you don't do it perfectly. I'm not a professional. I'm an average Joe. I can do it. You can do it too. How does the back look? I haven't even looked at it all, so I hope it looks good. This was so fun. Thank you for being here for this week's video. I post new videos every Monday on my main channel. I also post shorts throughout the week, but if you could do me a huge favor and like the video if you haven't already, subscribe. And then there's a new option where you can hype the video. I love it. So many of you have been hyping it, so thank you so much. I appreciate you. I see you. You are the best. You've been making my day. And comment, obviously, duh. I would love to hear what's been your go-to hairstyle this summer. Please tell me. Last summer, it was 2 braids for me. This summer I've been rocking just the natural down air dried hair. And then for fully blown when I want to style it, this is what I've been going to. So tell me, what has been your go-to hairstyle this 2026? Thank you again for watching. I love you so much and I will see you next week. Goodbye. It's like my hair is twerking. Bounce, 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 bounce. Love you.